we're here at the home of Sean Hunt and Son. We have young Sean here with us. For the first time ever, he's going to have a sale in Blackpool. Only 20 pigeons, specially selected for Blackpool, from all the top pigeons, all the champions, and there's some from winning sons and daughters of the champions, young ones from them. There's only 20 pigeons, but there's not going to be a better sale in Blackpool, I think, you know, with really top class. I believe, Sean, again this year you were champion combine winner at the South Road Fed. You also win the young bird average, the old bird average, champion young one, champion old bird, and a massive amount of points ahead of the next fella in the Fed.
Yeah, we had another super season, Jerry, yeah, so we won everything that was to be won, and delighted to retain the titles for another year, you know.
It's unbelievable, actually, because, you know what I mean, you don't race a lot of pigeons, you know. Some of the weeks I was ringing you, starting you at 23 hens away and no cocks and things like that, and the rest of the lads all having 50s away, and, you know, you never panic. You don't want to have 50 away every week. You're happy enough once you have the right pigeons away, as you said to me before. You don't need numbers.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. We race around about hens very well, you know, so that's what we concentrate on in the old boards, and we get them coming super, so it doesn't matter to me with how many I've got. I know they're with the quality we have in the loft, on the day it'll be very hard to beat, you know. Yeah,
well, I feared last year you stopped a lot of real good winning hens from the previous year, and I says, you know what I mean, how are they going to do this again this year with all the good hens? And Lord behold, you win the over average again this year by a lot of points.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's like our main aim is to keep on winning, and we look towards the future. And to do this, we keep building our family of spring pigeons around their best performance face pigeons, you know. And we're crossing these into our August Bellen family, and that's what we think is going to keep us at the top for hopefully a long time to come, you know. So, and as I said, we only need a couple of really good performance hens to come up and do the business for us in the old boards. Yeah. And we seem to keep producing them every year, Jerry.
Yeah, it's actually unbelievable. And not only are you winning yourselves, there's a lot of other people actually winning with the pigeons as well here in Dublin as well, you know. I was speaking to one fella, he was out of my house, Ray Matthews, and he got some champion cock pigeon. He was telling me about. What's the story?
Yeah, that's right. The Poiler Ray got a super pigeon, and really a super pigeon down from the back-to-back lines, bred from a full sister at the back-to-back. I think I won 4 fours for them, and I think I had 4 seconds for them. And they were beating on loft mates and then 4 occasions, you know. So he says that pigeon should have had 8 firsts. And I know on one occasion as well, he clocked that pigeon out with Talbot across the channel, you know. So, but really, it's the Ray was telling me there, you know, he's never had a pigeon like it, and I think it's one of the best performance pigeons in the history of the Sally Noggin Club. So yeah, it's really a super pigeon, another super pigeon from the back-to-back lines, you know.
Well, unbelievable.
Yeah. So.
And then the lads in Liverpool as well, they got a real good pigeon, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. He's had a couple of really good pigeons, not only one, Jerry. Yeah, but Liam Frost in Liverpool, he's doing exceptional lot of pigeons over there, and he's the only lad in England racing a good team in them at the moment, you know. But hopefully that'll all change now next year after the Blackpool auction, you know. But he had. It was a granddaughter of the racket. He the first club toured a mile as a young bird, and then the same pigeon came out this year as a yearling. The first club, first Liverpool a mile, and first Northwest combine from 297 miles out of France. I think it was 5,900 boards, you know. So
it's unbelievable, yeah, unbelievable going. I believe he never actually topped the mile. He actually raced some of your pigeons.
Yeah, that's right, Jerry. Yeah, it was the first time ever topping the mile was in. I think 2 seasons ago was the first time we ever done it with one of our direct country nines, and then again he done it again this year then with that granddaughter off the racket, you know.
And I know Thomas McLaughlin out in Finglas, he went the South section in the Skibbereen National this year with one of your young ones, your ring and all on it. That he got a couple of young ones off you, and they'll win the first south section in the national was well up in the open as well. Win Thomas a good few quid as well. So you must be happy when you see other people. It's not you just winning with the pigeons. And there's not too many of the people who've got your pigeons either. There's
no, very few. We don't put them out to everybody, and as you can see, Jerry, we haven't got a huge setup, you know. There's not a large amount of pigeons here, so but Thomas had a great result there. I was delighted for seeing him and his father doing well, you know. I was actually speaking to another man in the shop this morning there, Paul Bourne from Rialto. And he's another man that topped the Irish South Road fed from 9,000 pigeons with air boards in 2016. That was one from the back-to-back lines as well, and that was the first time. And he's racing pigeons, he was only telling me this morning, 40 years, and he'd never topped the Irish South Road fed, and he'd done it. And then that same pigeon that topped the fed for him in 2016 bred in an Irish South Road fed winner this year. He topped the fed with a 2018 young board, and it was his fed topper that bred this year's fed topper, you know, and his second time ever to do it, Jerry, you know. So
yeah, it's a real good sign in a family of pigeons when you see people doing performances like that, you know. Really super. And there's only 20 pigeons, obviously. Why only 20 pigeons for Blackpool?
Yeah, well look, as you can see, Jerry, you'll see here in the stock lot, we haven't got a huge setup, you know, and I just wanted to put some of our best into the UK market, you know, so that's it, you know. I handpicked the pigeons out by Blackpool, and you know, the brothers and sisters, we have a full brother there, the back-to-back air champion racer. I also have a full sister there too, Paddy, which was Irish South Road Fed's champion young board this year. He was also first fed out on 9,000 pigeons as well. So yeah, it's a small select auction of the very best we have, Jerry, you know.
I know in the Super 6 auction, the 6 pigeons you put, they were the highest average pigeons in the sale. And as I always say, with doing the auctions over the year, the hardest place for anybody to sell pigeons is in their own hometown. And your pigeons there, anytime you've ever put pigeons on the market, they've always made the big average, the best average in the show last year as well, and the year before. And you know, when you see that happening, well, then with your results over the last 6 or 7 years since you got these, 7 years since you got these August Bellen pigeons, you've really just took off running. You know what I mean? They're unbelievable. So they're a super family of pigeons. I think people definitely need to be in Blackpool to, even if they're not even going to buy the pigeons, just have a look and see what these pigeons are made of, and I think it'd be an experience in itself. These are the pigeons, sprint pigeons at their really best. And if there's people out there that want to push them on a little bit further, you know, the guy in Liverpool,
yeah, as I said, Liam Frost, he clocked he was first Northwest Combine out of nearly 6,000 pigeons and 297 miles. I think in the first 100 on that day, I think he had 3 or 4 of my directs in the first 100 of that result, you know. So they actually clocked the pigeons for fun, they did across the water this year. And that same pigeon, the pilot that Ray Matthews was racing, he clocked that pigeon out with Talbot, so they will do it in the right hands, Jim.
Oh, of course they will, a different system, you know. And there's, I think, about 7 channel races in the South Road Fed programme, and you didn't compete in any of them. And for you to be so far ahead, I don't know how many thousand points you were ahead in the overall average, and that's missing 7 races. That's still to be, you know, just says what these pigeons are doing week after week. I do speak on the phone every Saturday, and John Hayden, who was the actually second best flyer in the Fed this year, he says it's unbelievable week after week. The first time he wants to know what time of the hunts, and that's the way it is. It's a good sign when you see that. Can you show us now some of the pigeons, the parents of some of the pigeons that you have pigeons off, these 20 pigeons?
Yeah, we'll bring it into the loft and give us a look, Jerry.
Okay. Pigeon have you got in your hand there now to show me?
Yeah, I'm just going to give you a look at the daddy of the loft. This is the Racket Jerry.
Yeah.
He's August Bellen. He's the foundation pigeon in the August Bellen family, and he's a super producer, you know. He's sure to wear #1 stock cock, the Rocket. The Rocket is also August Ace August Bellen he is, and he's a super pigeon, giving us some super sprint champions, you know, like the Rocket sire to the Baron Hen, Candy, Raquel, and another ace pigeon for us, Trigger, which is already South Roads Feds champion young board 2015. I think you remember him, you had a look at him here when we only put him to stock, and you'd actually picked him out to be a future #1 stock cock, you know. And I think he's not far off now at the minute. He's certainly up there with his father and Maximus the sire back to back as a top producer, along with back to back in the loft. So that's it.
It all started from this cock here.
It's all started and it stems from him, the 4 generations of ace pigeons. And as I said, he is sire to the Rocket, and the Rocket is sire to Raquel. And Raquel, when paired into back to back this year, she bred this year's champion young board in the Irish South Road Fed, Paddy, and he was also force fed out on 9,000 pigeons. So that was the 4th generation.
Unbelievable.
The 4th generation ace pigeon down from the Racket, that was, you know. So, as you know, we were very fortunate to acquire this family of pigeons, and you cannot get them anywhere else worldwide, Jerry. You know, this is the home of them pigeons.
You actually went, you bought the lot, you bought the man completely out.
Yeah, well, he was very unfortunate that he took well, and we got the chance to purchase his whole family before he went to Pippa, and we took the chance and we just took off from there, Jerry, you know.
Super. I don't know, Eddie, whether you're able to zoom in on the eye of this pigeon. He's absolutely... What have we got in your hand now?
Yeah, so this is the Rocket now. He's one of the original August Bellen, and he's another ace August Bellen pigeon. He's a direct son of the pigeon I just showed you, the Rocket. He's the double of his father, and he really is a world-class producer, you know. He is sire to the Baron Hen, and she's one of the few pigeons that's won 4 first clubs in the history of our club, the Sarsfield Pigeon Club, where you'll have up to 1,000 pigeons racing, Jerry. She was also force fed from 6,000 pigeons. I think she was 5th best all board in the fed. Another sister to her, Candy, she was also force fed. She was one of the best all boards in the fed as well, she was. We have another super hen now from them, Raquel. She was a very good performance pigeon, the direct daughter of the Rocket, and she is down to this year's Irish South Road Fed champion young board, who was also force fed from 9,000 pigeons. And then, you know, we
Trigger direct from him?
Trigger, that's what I was just coming on to him now, Jerry. Trigger is a direct son of him, and he's every bar of his father as well, you know. He's the 3rd generation ace pigeon for us. He was champion young board in the Fed 2015. And he's producing some super pigeons for us now, you know. He's really up there with the very best producers in the loft, he is, you know.
He's an absolute cracking pigeon. Have you got a pigeon from him in the sale?
Yeah, we do, yeah. We have a direct daughter off him. She's lost 7, she is. So she is half sister to Trigger, half sister to the Baron Hen, half sister to all the superstars of our loft, Jerry, she is.
And your stock lot is full of children from this fella here as well?
Yeah, I have 8 children of him down here now. I only bred off 2 of them last year. One of them was Trigger, and last year he bred us the 2nd best all board in the Fed, a winning pigeon, 2nd best all board. And in the young boards I had them to a different hen, I had them to Ruby Real, and I raced 3 young boards off. The 3 young boards scored exceptional. One of them gave us 2 first clubs, which I'm at the stocking now. And we had another cock there that was challenging very well for best young board in the Fed, but we lost him with a good few races to go, and I think he ended up being the 16th best young board in the Fed. So Trigger is one of the new golden couples in the loft, he is, you know, to replace his father.
It's unbelievable family of pigeons that you created here, and they're all bred around a couple of pigeons. It's unreal, and that's the whole secret of pigeons, to keep it a family and not keep bringing pigeons in. You know what I mean? These are really, really super pigeons, and proven at the highest level in Dublin. As you say, the Sarsfield Pigeon Club, some weeks they're up to 1,000 pigeons away. It's I think your own club won the fed averages by a landslide, the amount of points. I know you gave a big help that is ourselves to doing it, you know. Many points were you actually ahead of the next fella in the fed?
I'm not 100% sure, Jerry. I think it was 2,000 or 2,500 in around that kind of thing. I'm not sure, but I know we won it well anyway, we did, Jerry.
Yeah, I don't believe it. A lot of it's down to this cock here, that's all. Lot number 7. This is recommend to get the daughter of this fella and you won't go wrong.
Yeah, and you will not be able to buy a daughter off him or similar way bred anywhere else in the world.
Okay, Sean, what pigeon have we got now?
So this is Trigger, Jerry. Remember 2 years ago you hadn't picked out the number 1 stock cock, future stock cock. He's the direct son of the Rocket. He's grandson of the Racket. He is Irish Outlaw Fed's champion young board 2015. Proved to be a super producer for us. He's sired of a force fed pigeon from 7,500 pigeons. He was sired to this year's 2nd best all board in the Fed and a full sister. Now here's one for you, Jerry. Now he bred the 2nd best all board in the Fed this year, and his full sister Raquel, she bred the best young board in the Fed this year. And they were the only 2 direct children that are bred that I bred off from the Rocket. Now we'll be breeding off a couple more this year that will come in, and we've very high hopes on him, you know.
Well, unbelievable. As I said when I was here 2 years ago, he's some pigeon this fella, and he will definitely be the number 1 breeding pigeon here in a couple of years. Unbelievable he is. And he bred the 2nd best all board in the Fed.
2nd best all board in the Fed this year he did, yeah. I was delighted to see that now, along with his sister breeding the 4th best young board in the Fed, you know. I just think that was exceptional, but for a full brother and sister to breed them like that, you know. I stocked a child off him this year that won 2 first clubs for us. So I stocked 2 children off him this year. I bred 1 for stock, and then the other day there's a proven winning pigeon, and we'll be very confident of getting our 5th generation ace pigeon from his children this year, we would, you know.
It's unbelievable. And you have a one in the sale from this fella as well?
Yeah, there's the direct son of him in the sale. I think he's lot 12, Jerry. And it was from a special pair, and actually it was I paired him to his half sister, a daughter off the Rocket. She's 100% August Bellen. It was our first nest with him, so that's an inbred. Lot 12 would be inbred back to the Rocket, a double grandson of the Rocket and a direct son of Trigger.
So it's what I said earlier on, it's just a small family of pigeons racing in a big federation with between 5 and 11,000 pigeons weekly, and this fella himself was champion himself. He's breeding the goods. He bred a South Federation winner as well with 9,000 plus pigeons. He's bred the 2nd best all board in the Federation as well, and unbelievable, just winner after winner. And I highly recommend the young one of this fella here to breed a lot of winners years to come.
You wouldn't think he was in the stock log in the condition he's in either, would you, Jerry?
Unbelievable, I tell you, he wouldn't be able to price going through the ringer at the moment. He's handling super, he is, yeah. But he is a super pigeon. I always said that about real good pigeons. They always have themselves in great shape all the time. Okay, Sean, what have you got now?
So this is our champion racer and champion producer. This is back to back, Jerry. He's 100% August Bellen. Have a look at him, Jerry. He's in Super Nick as well.
Unbelievable, yeah. The quality of the feathering and the pigeons is second to none. Really super. And he's a real good breeding pigeon, this fella.
Yeah, he's a super producer, he is, Jerry. I'll just tell you the little story about him. When we got the August Bellen pigeons in 2014, we got them in February, and then it was April where I went my first couple of youngsters out with him, you know. And I pushed a few of them up into our first round, as we already had a team at that stage, you know. And the youngsters now, they were young to go racing, which I wouldn't usually do, but I wanted to test these out, and I pushed them ready for the first race. So I think he was around 13 weeks going into the 13 weeks old May before they gone into the first race, and in the second young board race he came and he was force fed from 9,000 pigeons. And we couldn't believe it, but we didn't know. He says it was a northeast wind that day. Actually, I think the velocity was in the 1200s. And then the following week he came again, 9,500 pigeons to top the fed again. Unbelievable, Jerry. So we decided to stock him then, as we hadn't seen another pigeon doing that before. And he's a once in a lifetime pigeon, and he's just proven gold in the stock loft. He's now I've winners from him to 4 different hens. But last year we put him to a direct order off the Rocket, the pigeon that I just showed you a few minutes ago, Jerry. Raquel, she was also a very good performance pigeon for us, and they've just taken it to another level now for us, and they're the new golden couple in their loft. This year they bred the champion young bird in the fed, Paddy. He was also force fed from 9,000 pigeons as well as his father. And another full sister of him was the 11th best young bird in the fed. So I only raced for them, and I was delighted with them. Really delighted with them.
Unbelievable. I mean, you got these pigeons in 2000. You completely took over from the pigeons you had before them. They wiped them out nearly. Yeah. You
just took off from the work Gaudi did, Jerry. And we had some very good pigeons at the time as well, But these were just a level above, that much more consistent, and that type of thing.
You've been champion in the fed ever since, nearly, haven't you? Well,
in the young boards now, we've been Federation champions with the young boards since 2013. That's 6 years running it is. Very proud of them titles, really pride myself on the young boards. And we've won the combined averages in the Federation now for the last 4 years running as well. And I'm nearly sure that's a record in the Irish South Road Fed as well.
So this is an unbelievable pigeon. Twice topped the South Road Fed with 9,000 plus himself, and his son come out champion young one in the Fed and topped the South Road Fed with 9,000 birds plus. You know what I mean? And we're talking about a big federation, the Irish South Road Fed, with not a big massive radius either, so it takes actually some doing. I think we have, I know I picked out a pigeon from this cock, lot number 2 I think, so it's lot number 2 will be the exact same way bred as the champion pigeon in the South Road Fed, yeah?
Yeah, that's right, lot number 2, direct order of back-to-back from Raquel. And it's a full sister to Irish South Road Feds. This year's Irish South Road Feds champion young board, that was also force fed out on 9,000 pigeons.
Unbelievable pigeons, yeah. And as I say, you know what I mean, they're all just around a couple of pigeons. They're a real family of pigeons, and as we said, it doesn't matter the few people that have been lucky enough to get them, they won straight away with them. Unbelievable. Maybe show him Daddy. Here now.
So this is another one of our original August Bellens, Jerry, and one of the top producers in our loft. This is Maximus. So have a look at him, Jerry. He's a super pigeon.
Again, the feathering quality is just class. Lovely wing on him as well. He's a really nice pigeon. What is this lad bred?
So Maximus is the sort of the back-to-back, which I just showed previously, So that's it, He's the sort of once in a lifetime pigeon. But he's also produced me winners now. I think the 4 or 5 different hens he has, I had another son off in that top the fed as well from 9,000 pigeons back up. I have him in the stock loft now, and I will be breeding off him next year. And I have some direct children off him breeding some super pigeons for other fanciers. As we were saying earlier on, Ray Matthews' pilot pigeon is actually a grandson of him, bred from a daughter of Maximus. So he's also granddaddy to some super pigeons. He is Ray Matthews' pilot, who I'd mentioned was Paul Bourne, the Bourne brothers from Rialto. Maximus is also the grandfather of their first Federation winner, so that Fed winners is down from him as well. He is grandfather to Paddy, which was son of back-to-back. There was Irish South Road Fed's champion young board this year, and Paddy came atop the Fed this year, 9,000 pigeons. But on the day he came atop the Fed, I was forced in the second fed, and the second fed pigeon was a daughter, was a direct daughter off Maximus. So a daughter off him the second fed, and a grandson of him was fourth fed on the day. First and second fed out on 9,000 pigeons.
That's unbelievable, yeah. And what have we got in the sale belongs to this lad?
Yeah, we've a direct daughter of Maximus and Mealy. I'm not 100% what lot number now, I didn't check that, Jerry.
Mealy hen, I think she's the only Mealy hen in the sale.
Yeah, the only Mealy hen in the sale. She's the direct daughter of him. She's 100% August Bellens, and she's a full sister at the back to back. So super pigeon going up there, Jerry.
Yeah. As I'm saying, you know what I mean, they're all bred around a couple of pigeons, and that's really a really good sign. And I noticed there we're taking these pigeons out of all individual breeding pens as well, so you have they all have their own little section. They have each of these.
Yeah, that's it exactly, Jerry. With the quality of pigeons and that, and you know, we have them in their own sections just to guarantee the parentage and that, and that there's nothing else upsetting them or disturbing them, you know.
Super pigeons. You want to show Eddie? Sean, what have you got there now?
This is another up and comer in Airloft, Jerry, a super performance pigeon. This is Apollo. Have a look at him. He was force fed out of 8,900 pigeons he was. And we've some super pigeons down there with him as well. I know Keegan and Darrell, they raised 6 youngsters for him, and I think 4 of the youngsters won. So that's it, we've some super pigeons from him myself. I haven't paired up the 3 of our best hens this year, so I hope to raise 6 youngsters from him. And that's him, Jerry, yeah.
He's a super. Many pigeons today topped this out raw fed, wasn't it?
8,900 top the fed, Jerry, yeah. He's actually he's a full brother to Ruby Roo. She was best all board in the fed, and she was the first fed as well. Out of 9 or 10,000 pigeons. I have they're one of the main lines down across in with our August Bellen family there, you know. They're all performance based pigeons here.
Super pigeon, feather quality again is really second to none. We have one in the sale from this lad as well.
Yeah, there's a direct son off him. He's actually my pick from the sale. Last 17 he is a cracking cock from him, he is, Jerry.
Yeah, super. The whole sale, Sean, if you had to hold back 2 pigeons from the whole sale, what 2 pigeons would you hold back, a hen and a cock?
Yeah, well, as I just said there, the son off him really catching me eyes, is smashing, and I know he's from a winning line of pigeons that produce winning pigeons. So I really fancied the son of him, which I think is last 17. 460 is his ring number, and if I was to pick a hen to go with him, I would go with the full sister, the back to back, the daughter off Maximus, the Mealy hen. I think she's lot 14, Jerry. I'd have to check that, but I think she's lot 14. And the whole back of pair, that's the pair we'd be picking, Jerry.
Super. A lot of the pigeons that you have at Blackpool, you actually have nest mates of them retained for yourself, and
I'd say 80% of the pigeons in that sale, you have full brothers and sisters to them here in the stock loft, Jerry, you know.
Super, yeah. And the sale is on Saturday the 19th in the Metropole Hotel. Viewing time 5 o'clock. Sale starts 6 sharp. Unbelievable quality of pigeons. As I said earlier on, if you're not even interested in buying the pigeons, come along and see some of the fastest pigeons in Europe at sprint racing. Unbelievable, yeah. Okay, Sean, so we'll head off to Blackpool soon and put your name forward and let people have a look at the quality of pigeons that you're racing, and to be able to see why you are doing all the winning that you are doing in the South Row Fed and the Sarsfield Pigeon Club, which is the strongest club in Dublin. Okay then, Sean, thanks very much for today.
Nice one, Jerry, yeah. Pleasure to have you as always, yeah.
Let's hope the sale goes really well for you, which I think it will, you know.
Yeah, with a bit of luck, but the main thing is for us is to get our pigeons into the UK, and then once they start performing, then that'll follow, you know. So I've every confidence in the pigeons are going over there and doing big things, Jerry.
Super. So, next stop, Blackpool.
Thanks, Eddie.